There are many things in regards to ending this pandemic, in regards to building back better, that we didn't talk about 2 years ago in the 2019 election, that I think Canadians have a right to weigh in on.
Justin Trudeau has called for a new election, arguing his Liberals never ran on much of what he's pitching to help Canada recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, and he needs a new mandate. Speaking outside Rideau Hall on Sunday, Trudeau says if Canadians don't like what his government is doing, we should tell them with our votes.
We've seen situations where Conservative backbenchers have referred to some of this government's decisions as tyrannical, in terms of how we're creating mandates for vaccination of public servants or vaccination of people on trains and airplanes. Well, the answer to tyranny is to have an election.
Canadians deserve the right to have a government that will be ready for a crisis.
Across town, Aaron O'Toole kicked off his campaign with the promise of 1 million jobs within a year, deals for Canadian-made medical supplies, and a balanced budget. But O'Toole was unable to clearly answer if he'd require Tory candidates to get the vaccine.
Conservatives, for the last year, as you know, have been demanding vaccine supply and access and encouraging Canadians to get vaccinated. I think we can also have an approach that uses a whole suite of health measures, from rapid testing and screening, mask usage, to have reasonable accommodations.
We are the only party saying very clearly there is a third option, which is to make the ultra-rich pay their fair share.
The NDP's JAGMEET Singh launched his campaign with a warning that Liberals and Conservatives alike would either claw back COVID relief benefits or hike taxes to pay for them. Singh says the NDP has another way.
Companies like Amazon, which make record profits in this pandemic, do pay virtually no taxes in Canada. We can stop that. We can make sure they pay their fair share and invest that back in people. Everyday workers pay their fair share. So should wealthy corporations.
Pointing to recent wildfires and heatwave-linked deaths in Western Canada, Green Party leader Annamie Paul says the case for her party is stronger than ever. Paul, recently the target of criticism from within her own party, says Canada needs to join the green economy while it still can.
It is estimated to generate more than $1 trillion US per year by 2030. And Canada has the chance of a lifetime not only to definitively bend the curve on greenhouse gas emissions, but also to set ourselves up with the jobs of the future, to set ourselves up with the competitive economy of the future.
McGill political scientist Daniel Ballon says this election could come down to Quebec. The Bloc Québécois won 32 of that province's 78 seats in 2019, mostly by aligning itself with François Legault. But if the CAQ premier doesn't repeat his 2019 attacks on Trudeau, the BQ could be in a tight spot, opening a window for the NDP or Liberals.
If Legault doesn't really stir the pot or criticizes the Prime Minister, then it gives fewer opportunities for the Bloc to say, well, we are the only ones who represent Quebec's interests because we basically follow François Legault's lead.
Now, as widely reported last week, Trudeau has asked for the shortest possible campaign period, just 6 weeks, putting Election Day on September 20th. In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.